All right, here I am. Hi, everybody. All right, let's get this show on the road right now. Hey, welcome, Speedway fans, to another episode of Speedway Chat Live. This is episode number 7, right here on XSRA.TV's YouTube channel and Facebook profile. XSRA stands for Extreme Speedway Racing Action. Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm your Speedway Chat Live producer. And XSRA producer Ken McKinney. And today we're going to hear from Speedway dads of Speedway racers. It's in honor of Father's Day coming up, and I'll be talking with Steve Martin, Keith Lightcap, and Mike Wells, all of who have young racers in the Speedway circuit racing today. I know you've seen them. If you've seen them at the track, they are fantastic. And if you haven't seen them on the track, you can see them on my Speedway channel. And I'll be giving you some Speedway news as much as I can in this podcast so you know what's going on at the tracks around the country and here in California, and how you can get to the track. And the best way to watch this racing is at the track. So stick around for more of that. And be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow American Speedway Racing on XSRA.TV's YouTube channel and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and the social media. It keeps me so busy. My old lady hates it, but you know, I've always got my nose in my phone. I, like a lot of you out there, it's just the way it is these days, at least sometimes. Just 5, but I want to let you know, 5 more subs, just 5 more subs, and we'll have 1,200 fans on the Facebook, on the YouTube channel. And that'll help the ranking out a lot. Please like the races. Like them. Even if you don't subscribe, I need you to subscribe. But like the races. It helps the ranking out. And more people around the country and around the world will see Speedway racing from America. You can find out a lot of the information I'm going to tell you at speedwaybikes.com. Speedwaybikes.com right here. Where did I put him? Well, I had it up there. Let me see. I got it. No, I got too many slides in there. But you can find out everything at speedwaybikes.com. It's hosted by RC Jones. It's a full schedule of Speedway racing, race reports, racer biographies. It's a great site, and I recommend it for everybody. If you want to find out about what's going on in the country, go to speedwaybikes.com. Now let's have some Speedway news, all right? Here. A little Speedway news. Local news here in California. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. Local news here in California. As you know, Costa Mesa Speedway has reopened. They've had 3 rounds of racing so far. It's been great. Opening night was on May 21st. They had a great turnout. Max Rummel won the Jack Milne Cup on opening night for his 2nd time. I hadn't looked at the cup to see if his name was on there, and it had been 2 years, so I forgot. But Max Rummel won the Jack Milne Cup, so he will be on the cover of the next Speedway, one of these programs, the free program you get at Costa Mesa Speedway. Opening night was great. But the next 2 nights were even better as Austin Navarrete. You know Austin Navarrete. He's the wild man, they call him. He's a very dynamic racer. He won the last 2 events over Aaron Fox and Billy Gennaro, of all people. He's hot right now. Let's see how he will do when the racing returns to Costa Mesa and Max Rummel returns. Yes, if you didn't know, Max Rummel was out of the country. He was competing in the Speedway Grand Prix qualifiers with Luke Becker in Slovenia, somewhere over there, where the girls are really pretty and guys are really, never mind the guys. But anyway, he'll be looking forward to coming back to the track. I know Max, he's a competitor, and it'll be great to see him out there. We'll even find out a little bit more about how he was and how it was to be involved with the Speedway Grand Prix. I know he's looking forward to defending his national championship title at all the tracks. So we'll talk about that more about that soon. Speedway at Costa Mesa will be going dark They won't be having any more races until August 27th, but they will have the Speedway Fair Derby, and that will be on August 11th. So if you want to go down to the fair and have a good time at the fair and then catch Speedway while you're there, that's where a lot of people learn about Speedway, and they even ask, is this still a thing? Hell yeah, it's still a thing. It's been a thing. That's where we need to get more fans involved. So you want to find out more about that, visit their website at CostaMesaSpeedway.net. Fast Fridays in Auburn. They've been holding great events themselves up there in Auburn, Northern California, in the Gold Country. They've had 4 rounds of extreme. I'm a little excited. They had 4 rounds of extreme speedway racing action so far. This Friday night will be Legends and Vintage Night. It'll be Friday, June 17th. It's off the hook racing. I've been up there a couple times. It's a beautiful place to be. I hope you can make it there for an event this summer. I'm going to try and get out there too. I love to go up there, smell the pine trees, and just be up in Mother Nature. Because after you get done watching the racing, if you're up there, you can just go up in the mountains and maybe find a Sasquatch or something. Bigfoot is up there. Visit fastfridays.com for more information. And over in New York, way over on the East Coast, Champion Speedway is running in New York, and they're running very hot right now. They've been running since May 14th with Speedway Racing, and they've added mini carts. Have you heard about that? These little mini carts? I think it's the new fad going on. But they've added these new carts. I saw a post on Facebook about that. I really need to get the promoter, Jason, on this program to chat soon about their events. What do you think? Send me some comments. Ask me to get some people on there. We've got Johnny Oakton in California racing when all the Oaktons are in the East Coast racing over there. He's going to get really good by racing against guys here in California, and then he's going to go back east and kick ass. All right, for more information, visit their website at eastcoastspeedway.com. And of course, Industry Hills. Wait a minute, I'm supposed to be putting this stuff up. Wait a minute. Industry Hills is going to be racing. I'm working on my own tech, on my own everything. I forgot to put up banners and stuff, but there you go. Of course, Industry Hills Speedway will be opening next week on Wednesday, June 22nd. Kelly Inman has a whole schedule for the fans and racers. It's going to be really great. I actually went to the track because I had to drive over the hills because I'm over here in Buena Park. I just had to drive over Hacienda Heights, and I was there in like 30 minutes. I went and visited the track the other night, and he's putting some great stuff together. Let's check out what they're doing out there with Kelly Inman. All right, here I am at Industry Hills Speedway with the legendary Kelly Inman. Kelly, tell me what's going on. I know you're going to be opening up next week, and the track looks like it's getting together. What's up?
Things are going good. I've got Joe Jones out here and put a few laps on the track tonight just to make sure we didn't have any surprises. I've got almost 500 tons of new dirt. And it's been a chore over the last 2 months mixing all the stuff in, and it's all new to us. So we're trying to make sure that we don't have no surprises on opening night, and we're excited. Things went really well. No surprise holes or anything like that. It's a dirt track. You never know what you're going to get. Everybody's got to ride the same thing, and we're just excited to be back, hoping the fans show up.
Well, the stands are empty, and I don't think they will be empty at all on opening night, which is June 22nd.
June 22nd, next Wednesday.
All right. So everybody, come on out and support your local Speedway at Industry Hills. Everybody has been waiting for you to reopen.
We're excited. Like I said, we're just waiting and hoping we get the support that we do. All of our sponsors have come back on board, every one of them, and then a couple of new ones that I'm super happy about and thankful. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this, and without the good crew that I have and my wife helping, and we're excited. We're looking forward to it, and we're nervous.
So be here, right?
Be here.
All right. Thank you very much.
How's that? Looking good. Loving it.
Yeah, that's right. Industry Hills is going to come alive. The Thunderdome. It's going to come alive next Wednesday on the 22nd. If you can't make it, well, you're going to be missing some wonderful, wonderful Speedway action out there. I will definitely try to put stuff on the YouTube channel, but be sure you subscribe to that thing so that you will get updates when I upload stuff. All right. So thank you very much. Lastly, what's happening with Bakersfield and Paris? It seems like with Costa Mesa and Industry opening up, it's like they've turned into the redheaded stepchild. They are not the redheaded stepchild, everybody. I haven't forgotten them. Hell no. Steve Evans has some great racing scheduled and some upcoming events. You've got to check his website at ParisSpeedway.com. There's some interesting information there, but he does have this coming up. This is coming up on the 25th. So right after Wednesday, everybody's got to pack up and go out to Podunk, Bakersfield. Anyway, Bakersfield. You're not in the middle of the city. You're off the 5 freeway. It's really easy to get there. This June 25th. It's a big event you don't want to miss. It's the Digger Helm Memorial / Round 1 AMA National Speedway Championship Series. Yes, that's a big series. This is going to be a big event. There will be 2 more rounds after this, one at Industry and one at Fast Fridays. It's for points and the number 1 plate currently held by Mad Max Rummel. You know, the Dodgers have Max Muncy. The Angels have Max Stassi. And Speedway has Max Rummel. That's right. We've got the Max in Southern California. I know Billy Gennaro wants his plate back. He's been knocking on the door, wants his plate back, but he's going to have to work with it because Aaron Fox has lightened up. I can't believe it. Have you seen Aaron Fox lately? The guy is down to he was kind of got big. You know, he's recently got married, and you know, marriage will do that to you. You get all little complacent and you eat and you're in love and stuff, but he slimmed down. I think he's down to like 160, 165. He says he's going to get down to like 120. No. Only Gino Manzares does that for a fight. But no. He has really, really gotten himself slimmed down, and him and Austin Navarrete, they are really looking forward to getting the plate again away from Max. And I know you got to go out to the races and see it. This promises to be a showdown full show. I will put some reports on the channel, but nothing beats going there and watching it live. So get your asses out to Bakersfield. Yeah, down out there Bakersfield off the 5 freeway. You can find out more information at KernCountyRaceway.com. All right. So thank you very much. That's a little Speedway news, you know, a little Speedway news. So let's get into, all right, let me stop that. Let's get into our featured guests for the night, our Speedway dads. Now, the featured guest I want to welcome on for Father's Day coming this Sunday, Speedway Dads. That's right. We've got Steve Martin. Let me bring him in. Steve Martin. I got Keith Lightcap, and I got Mike Wells. 3 Speedway dads that are giving it for their sons to come on out. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not paying attention to the girls. I know that there's some guys out there that have their girls are racing and they're having a great time doing that. But these guys are really giving it for their boys, and it shows on the track. Hey, Steve, how are you doing? Let's say hi to you first.
Good. How you doing, Ken?
Very good. How are things going up there in Salinas?
Every day's a new day.
Very good. I got Keith Lightcap down there in Huntington Beach, California. How are you doing, Keith?
Excellent, Ken. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And I got Mike Wells over there in, where are you, in Huntington Beach as well, right?
Huntington Beach, yes.
Everybody's in Huntington Beach, the place to be. How are you doing, Mike?
Doing good. Things are going well, and we're having a blast.
Well, I want to welcome you guys. Thank you very much for showing up. And in fact, I want to let you guys know we've got Argentina in the house watching us right now. Momo Sanchez down there in Argentina. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias for joining us here in America on Speedway Chat Live. Guys, Speedway is a very intense sport. It's had a fall off. It's seen itself come back in a sine wave of sorts, with riders coming and going. They age out. Bobby Schwartz, he's still racing at 65. You got Fast Eddie Castro out there's the oldest kid on the track. But you got some racers there that have developed since the Pee Wee days, and they're now racing in the 500s. They're giving the racers racing. They're giving it a new appeal, and I want to thank you guys for being involved with the sport. But let me start with asking you guys a few questions. Let me start with you, Mike, right down there. Mike, how did Michael find out about the sport? How did he show an interest in it?
Well, I was always a fan of Speedway, and I went to it and kind of got out of it and got back in it with my wife and kind of fell out again. We took Michael when he was 4 years old and at Costa Mesa. They had a halftime show of the kids on the Honda 50s going around. His comment to us was, I got one of those. I want to do that. Here we are. He's 21 years old, and we're still doing it. So it's
Fantastic.
Been fun.
Fantastic. Keith, how did Slater show an interest in the sport? How did that start?
We just like Mike said, I go down there and check out Speedway. Not from California originally, so it was a new sport to me to see live. Really got a kick out of the PW50 class. I mean, just had a hoot watching those little kids before I even had a kid. And Slater came along, and he had a PW50. And for Costa Mesa, free entry. So, Steve knows I like free. So I entered into the PW50 class and got to know some of the guys in the pits. And it was just a great group of people. And we progressed from there and bought a half-scale Speedway bike a couple of years later.
Yeah, and I've been watching both of those boys because at Costa Mesa, I feel, is my home track too. So I've been watching them since some PW50 days, and it's great to see them advance. Steve, I know that you're a former racer. Tell me how I know Alex has got a twin brother, Sterling. How did those boys get involved in this sport?
Just riding bikes a little bit, and then a friend of mine told me, I hadn't been to Auburn, the races, since I quit, I kind of just buried myself in work. And a friend of mine goes, oh man, they're running Pee-wees up there at Auburn. And they didn't used to do that years ago. So we went up north one weekend and watched them. And I was like, that's cool. And the kids, like every kid, let's go do that. So of course we jumped in, head first, and here we are.
Well, that's great. Steve, I'll start with you. you had an interest in it, so it's more or less probably a chromosomal thing. But what did you think about their interest in the sport when they took an interest in it the way they have?
At first it was just, kind of fun watching your kid run around, with all the other kids. I think they were more, as far as when they got into it in the Pee-wees, it was after the races when they'd go run around the racetrack and think they were actually going faster. I think they probably were going faster on foot than on the bike. But no, it was kind of, we thought, oh, it's cute, it's fun, and then as things progressed, a few Speedway bikes later, here we are.
Yeah, you said a few Speedway bikes later. I've got a little bit of video right here. I'm gonna put up of your trophy room. What a trophy room! I'm sure that's an inspiration for the kids that come over to want to go and watch your boys. But I think that might actually help them continue in racing. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm always trying to recruit some of the local stuff from our area in the sport. It's there's nothing local, so it's but I've had a couple get interested, and then they kind of not all parents are totally dedicated and maybe as foolish as the three of us, but yeah, and Speedway, it's tough for a lot of people to invest in the money in a bike that you can only use on that track. So it's not like, if your kid, falls out of interest, he can still ride the bike down to the mailbox or, with his buddies down to the river. It's pretty much a purpose bike. So they've got to get the bug, and, and as us parents, we know, you got to make the commitment. And obviously all three of us here have, and this is what you get.
Yeah, very good. And your son is one of the top-notch riders coming up. And Keith, what did you think of Slater? He got out on the PW50, and now he's in the 500s. And I know it's not a cheap sport. It's very, and takes a lot of dedication. Well, how did that go for you?
Well, with Slater, it was, this is Dad talking. He was just a natural on the bike. It just came easy for him. And every time he would upgrade to the next bike or the next, engine displacement from like the PW to the 150 to the 250, it was exciting for a dad to watch the progression. And, while he's having fun and going from the 250 to the 500, it's been fantastic. It's like Steve said, it's, we're fully invested. The kids are having fun. And it's, I think they have more fun after the races, signing autographs and talking to people in the pits afterwards. So, it's been fun all the way around for everybody.
Yeah, I've seen Slater back there signing autographs, and I remember when he was so young, and to see him doing that, it's very inspirational. And you too, Mike. Mike, you started out, and gosh, you're such a pit dad to not only your son Michael, but to so many others. But what did you think of his interest as he kept going? Because I knew Michael when he was in the PW50s and the 150, and now he's 6'3", and he's giant. he's Brad Oxley tall out there. So
yeah, he's not built the best for Speedway, being tall. Makes it a little tough on him. Being 6'3", and he has a size 13 shoe. So you can imagine the amount of shoes we've gone through. Well, it's been the same amount of bikes. Seems like he was outgrowing a bike every month almost. We've gone through quite a few different sizes. We also ride in the desert and joyride out there. So we've had our share of bikes.
Good. Okay, so you guys are involved in the sport, but what do you tell your friends and family? Keith, what do you tell your friends and family about what Slater is doing out there in the track?
Oh, well, I mean, the first thing I tell them is, how awful a dad I am to put a kid on a bike with no brakes and tell him to go fast. You know?
Tell them
But like
leave the brains at home, right?
You know, they ask about it. I show them pictures. I tell them to come down to Costa Mesa. You know, we've turned on a couple of families this year, and a lot of his friends are coming because we're local HB to Costa Mesa, and they just absolutely love it. So, I mean, they're talking about VIP bosses next year.
Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah, well, that's a good way to get the fans in because his friends should be supporting him. How about you, Steve? I mean, you're a racer from the older days, and now you got your sons racing not just Speedway, but also flat track with Sterling doing more flat track than Speedway. What do you tell people about this?
Well, it's hard to, you know, as you know, Speedway is hard to explain to people. And, you know, once you start telling them, you know, they go in circles. Oh, it's like flat track. No, not really. And you try to explain the, you know, the whole no brakes thing, and you pretty much lose them at that point. And then my easiest way to compare is I always tell people, you know what a sprint car is? And they're, yeah. I go, imagine a sprint car with two wheels. They corner, you know, very similar. And when they crash, it's spectacular. You know, so, and of course, you know, that's what draws people in is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they like to see those crashes, but I hate it. I know I've come to not like it as much as I did in the past. But Mike, what do you tell friends and family about this sport?
My family, Michael's growing up. They know we've always had motorcycles, and they always knew we'd do something on bikes and stuff. And we get them out to the track as much as we can. Friends, they ask me why sometimes, because a lot of people don't know Michael is a fertility baby, test tube baby in the long run. And people ask us, why would you do that when we had such a hard time getting a son? Well, that was getting a son. Once we got him, he was a boy. So we do all the things boys do. A lot of outdoor stuff, motorcycles, and racing.
Yeah. Did you put an extra tall chromosome in that vial or something?
It'd been nice if I could have picked and choose a little bit, but we got what we got, and we're happy with it.
Very good. Very good. I was only kidding on that. That's a picture of Michael Wells. He's out there. You see how high his knee is? I was teasing him the other day at the track when he should probably put a steel shoe on his knee and then use the knee as a foot. But he's got a good attitude about that stuff. So let me ask you. This is not a cheap sport, but it is a very fantastic worldwide sport. And what do you guys do for a living? Mike, let me start with you. What do you do for a living?
Well, I started out construction, and I had a boss that was real helpful as far as giving me time off, going Wednesday racing during the week and all that. Unfortunately, that he passed away, and that job went away. I was picked up by, you see the shirt, Team SOS, which has helped us out quite a bit. We do communication on lifeguard towers. It's a wireless communication connection between the tower and the main headquarters. And we have our fingers in a few other things too, as far as communication.
Good. Keith, what do you do?
I'm a engineer for Boeing.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you drive a train? No. That's my long-standing dad joke. So you're an engineer for Boeing, and were you involved in like the C-17 and other?
You know, I did. I started out with McDonnell Douglas. All commercial is my experience. MD-80s, MD-90s, 717. Transferred over to the Boeing 757 as a customer support engineer, and now I'm on the 787. So,
very good. I always ask a friend who works for Lockheed, how's that spaceship coming?
yeah.
So how's that spaceship coming?
Ask the guys over in the space department. I can't answer that.
Very good. Steve, what do you do for a living?
Self-employed, excavation grading business, pretty much family business since the 50s. So it allows me some time off. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but you know.
Yeah. So you got an excavator. You're the one who's been able to make that practice track for
Yeah,
the kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my baby.
Yeah. That's pretty cool because that really helps your son. Spinning laps is one of the big things that these veterans talk about and stuff. So I know that traveling is something that's involved in Speedway. How do you feel about traveling to the different tracks? I mean, let's not talk about gas prices and the way they are. But Steve, I'll start with you. Racing and Fast Fridays on a Friday, and then Costa Mesa on a Saturday. That you haven't found a friend yet to drive for you yet, have you?
No, years ago when I was racing, it was tough to find someone to travel with. Because you've got to think a lot alike and you got to be able to get along. Bart Bass and I, we were really good. We got along good and we had a lot of fun. But I'm probably a terrible person to travel with, because when I get in the vehicle, I look at a destination as that's B. We're at A, we're going to B, and I don't like to stop at anything in between. So the kids have learned my style. Same thing with my wife, but it's part of it. It's a little tough. Obviously, the older I get, the more I feel it. But you've got to go where the racing is. And unfortunately, where we live, our closest track now is the track in Bakersfield, and that's just over 3 hours away. But great track, and it is what it is. I'd love to live a little closer, but it's pretty tough to live where we live also.
Yeah. Well, the kids are getting older. I'm sure that they can pick up the driving for you as you keep going. But lucky thing, you travel in that RV, you could use the restroom and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's what, we pretty much, we don't make very many stops,
Very good.
Right through.
And make a sandwich and bring it to me. I'm driving.
Exactly.
Keith, how do you feel about traveling around the different tracks? I know that Costa Mesa and Industry are pretty close, but even going down to Paris is sometimes a chore. But Bakersfield and then Fast Fridays up in Auburn. How's that for you?
Well, I'm not pushing 100 like Steve, so I can still handle it. But it's great when now that we're into the 500s, Costa Mesa is just down the street, 15 minutes away. So we're real fortunate with that. Now that COVID's over and Kelly's taken on Industry again, that's 45 minutes, an hour away. So we're lucky there. Southern California, we got the traffic. So to go to like Bakersfield or Paris, it could turn into, for
3-hour tour.
Paris, it's a 2-hour, you're pushing 2 hours.
Yeah.
Bakersfield, same thing. You gotta figure out what the traffic's going to be doing. And, if you want to get ahead of it, leave a little early. And then of course, Auburn is, it's 8 hours for us.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, we're fully invested and committed. So we'll be up at Auburn this year.
Cool. Yeah. Slater's got to race that track. Got to be on that track specifically for these nationals. Mike,
Right.
How about you about traveling around to the different tracks? You got so much to do there.
Yeah, we don't get up to Northern California as much as we'd like. We've been up there a few times. That's where my boss sponsors they're out of. We enjoy it up there quite a bit. Just getting there with, like I say, the 8-hour drive makes it tough. Bakersfield isn't too bad. We make a day of it. We leave early, and we don't plan on getting home till real late. It turns into almost an all 24-hour adventure by the time we get done, seems
Right.
like. But we really enjoy going there. Keith said getting to Paris, 2 hours, it can be more of traffic. Anybody from Southern California knows the 91 freeway, and it can be a nightmare at times. But we do travel. We've been to a number of tracks, and we enjoy it.
Yeah. Have you been able to organize any kind of homestays or anything with other Speedway families that you can at least camp in their curb or their front yard or their, if you've got the ability to do that? Have you been able to do anything like that, Mike?
Yes, I have. Fortunately, a lot of people know him as a racer. Lawrence McNutt. When
Yes.
we're up there, he helps us out as far as letting us stay at his place occasionally. We do that when we're up there. Michael's friends with all the other riders up there. He can get up there. He could find a place to stay up there, no problem. It'd be getting his bike and his gear up there is a little bit of a tricky part, but finding a place to stay, everybody welcomes us. It's a real great community as far as Speedway goes to get help and stuff like that.
That can help out a lot. How about you, Keith? You made any friends up there?
Oh my gosh. There's we've had some historic events at Steve and at the Martin's house, over the years. I mean, there's stories that could be told forever, and it's going to be carried on with their kids. I know it. It's
Great.
we've had a lot of fun. They've been down here. Margaret's been great with opening the doors up in Auburn, and Steve's just a great host and have a fantastic place. So we've had a lot of fun with the travels.
Steve, how about you? I mean, I know you're coming down here. It'd be great if somebody could host you. All you'd have to do is pull that rig up in front.
Light Cap's front yard, and I make sure I pull the septic tank when we leave.
Yeah, he likes to pull the committee when he comes into Huntington Beach.
Yeah, you got to clean out there in your front yard, do you?
Any warning we're coming, just to be as much of a cousin Eddie as I possibly could.
Very, very good.
Trust me, this is way too nice for him. So
he's not far off. He's look at him. He's halfway there.
Very good, very good. Mike, I wanted to go back to Lawrence McNutt. I should actually asked him to come on here too, because I know he's a big brother, and he's worked with the Big Brothers Association, which is very needed. And I understand that Sammy Terrault is a product of that, and he's a racer, and he's showing a lot of promise, and at least it gives him something really positive to do. But Lawrence, tell me a little bit about Lawrence McNutt. As an individual, a dad himself, an extended father.
Yeah, he's a dad. His son Aiden races.
Yes, Aiden.
He also helps out a bunch of other kids at the track. If he can help a little bit, he helps. There's Kyle Cunningham. He helps out. Russell Green. He'll get a little bit every once in a while helping him, and he's like a Speedway dad to all the kids and stuff. He gets along with everybody. Just better the sport. He wants the sport keep going. It's great to have him. Like I say, he helps us out, and I can't complain or anything.
Yeah, you guys are all very supportive of other racers that are over there. I've seen it where a racer next to you has an issue where you'll walk over there and try to help them out. Isn't that what it's all about, Keith?
Absolutely. It's Steve's given us a 150, at industry that Slater hopped on. It's a small family. And it's exactly what it is. Everyone's there to help everyone else out. And, if you need something, the word no doesn't even come out of our mouth. If we got it, we're going to help.
Yeah, Steve, I've seen you do the same thing. You have two bikes, but if somebody's down, you'll lend the bike out.
Yeah, no, we try to do anything we can to help out, and we did a lot in the 150 days. A lot of those bikes were real sensitive, and we were able, with two kids, I was able to figure it out because I had twice as many problems. So I was able to figure a lot of the carburation stuff out, and I ended up, I passed on all the jetting, all the info, to everybody and down. I used to keep extra carb parts and stuff, and engine pieces just to keep everybody going.
Very good.
You got a big picture.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the more you help out, the more the racers are going to be able to be competitive and work to race against each other. So I'll give you a big, all you guys, I'm going to give you a big shout out for that. Very good. I was going to ask this. Let me just ask this. So, if there's any dads out there that they got their kids and they're like, "Hey, I want to do this," and the dad's like, "Well, geez, I don't know." If they're at the track, would you be willing to talk to any of those guys about being involved? Maybe even letting their son sit on the bike or try it out. I don't know, insurance purposes and stuff like that. But how are you about helping other people get involved with the racing? Steve?
Oh, we do it all the time. I'm even got an old 500 that I got to get put back together, but I call it the recruiter. That's, we try to, like I say, we've been trying to get a lot of local kids here going. Haven't had too much success because they're pulled towards the flat track, at least in our area here.
Yeah.
But when we're at the races, we always put kids on the bikes and, any info we can. I mean, the more the merrier. There's a gap in these younger kids right now moving up to these bikes. There's a bunch of kids like Kresman. I'm trying to think of Colton Hicks, and Kyle Cunningham's kind of out for injuries, I think. But we try to. There's a big gap, is what I'm saying, between where Michael Wells when he came up and versus Slater and Alex, and we got to fill those gaps to keep feeding the sport.
Sure do. How about you, Keith? If dads are talking to you about the sport, what do you tell them? You want to help them out, or?
No, of course. If they've got questions, I'll give them the answers. If they have a small kid that's seeing the bike walking by the pits, I'll go out there and grab them and say, "Hey, do you want to sit on the bike, take a picture?" And dads love it, the kids love it. So hopefully, one of those kids will grow up going, I want to do this. It just takes a little bit of a, ask a question or two, and heck, they come back for some more, and try and educate them the best you can, and hope that they they take the bait, like we did.
Yeah, take the bait.
Yeah, feel our pain, please.
Yeah.
Once the kid gets a slide, he's addicted. Mike, I've seen you. You've helped so many kids out. I've seen you helping out the Reese, the Todd brothers, specifically Reese when he's come down here to Southern California to race. But what do you do? What do you say with somebody who comes up to talk to you about the sport?
I tell them how we got started, the fun we have, what the great community it is, as far as all the riders, everybody helping everybody. It's, as far as the motorsport, it's not an extremely expensive sport. You can get started fairly cheap. I'm not talking hundreds, a few. It takes thousands, but it's not like auto racing or anything where it's super expensive. So it's fairly easy to get into. We do have kind of a handicap because there are no places to really practice. Lake Elsinore has a practice track that's geared kind of towards flat track a little bit. Be nice to get a few more practice tracks or practice days at some of the tracks, but I know that's tough for some of the promoters with insurance and everything that way. That would help the sport with getting more riders in. And we need more meet and greet days. Get the riders, get them up by the stands, get them in the front when people come in, let them talk, let the kids sit on the bikes. Like you say, I always offer sit on the bikes. I don't care if they knock it over or anything. They fall over enough on the track that, it's not going to hurt them. Just get on the bike, have fun.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you one more question with regard to the racing. A lot of the racing that you're doing right now is almost preparing your sons to go race over in Europe sometime, like Brock and Luke and Dylan are doing right now. How do you feel about that? If they get good enough that they might want to go overseas and race in Europe. Keith, I'll start with you.
Slater's in contact with Brock quite a bit over there. I know Dylan reaches out to him after some races, and so he talks to those guys over there. He looks up to those guys. He wants to try it out. I know he's interested in if an opportunity arises and it's the right time, I'll support it as best I can.
Mike, how about you?
Yes, we'd love to go over to Europe. Anywhere overseas would be a great learning experience. A little bit of heritage. My wife's German, so like to get over in that area. Not a whole lot of tracks there, but Europe, anywhere over in Europe, Poland, anywhere would be highly appreciated to get over and race. We're hoping to get there.
And how about you, Steve?
Oh yeah, trust me, I get pestered all the time. But that's every Speedway rider's dream. I remember that was mine, and it was way far-fetched, obviously. But yes, it's every kid's dream, and we've been fortunate enough to go over and with Team USA and watch, and it's been an incredible learning experience just watching. It gives me a whole new appreciation for it. If like you say, if you guys ever get a chance to go over for the Speedway of Nations or even Speedway World Team Cup just to watch, it's unreal. It's on another level. And what Brock and Luke and Dylan and Ricky Wells are doing over there right now is incredible. The level of that in Europe is so far above what we have here. And
we're minor leagues, right?
Yeah, and it's nothing against these riders. It's just the rider pool is so deep over there and so much talent. I mean, obviously that's the best of the best. So,
right.
Anybody that comes back from there, any of the riders, you can see how much they improve. Their starts are,
right.
Just after a season, even like Aaron Fox, I mean, you could see the difference in him. Yeah, that's the dream for, I think, all the kids.
Right. I've seen guys coming back, Gino, Tyson Burmeister, others that went when I first started working and covering the Speedway, and I'd see them leave. The promoters weren't too happy about it, but after a couple of years of racing over there, they came back here and were kicking ass. Their skill level just improved so much. They were much better racers, and it created much better competition overall. So I'd hope to see your boys be able to go over there, get that experience, heck, even become another American champion. It's a hard one to do. You got to be over there for a long time to do it, but that's the brass ring, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you guys for joining me. Speedway dads, Speedway Happy Father's Day. I want to say a Happy Father's Day to Gino, who's got his baby, to Austin, who's got his baby, to there's a couple guys I forgot right now. Anyway, everybody out there who's a dad. Who?
Gino got a baby too.
Yeah, Gino Manzara's got that little baby. I even have a baby. She's 17. She's in Japan, but hopefully I'll see her sometime. But it's really great to see you guys stand beside and behind your sons, helping them become racers and hopefully champions of tomorrow. And I really appreciate you guys joining me on this Speedway chat. And is there anything, Steve, you'd like to add to this?
No, other than, what? We're not doing anything any different than any other dad out there. We're creating memories. When we're dead and gone, hopefully the kids, these are great memories they pass on. And, it doesn't matter if they're playing badminton, or, baseball or Speedway, it's do it all for the kids.
How about you, Keith?
Yeah, same with Steve. I agree. We're every race is a memory. Every travel up to Auburn is just another feather in the hat. Steve has a dry ice weekend that we do at his private track. That everyone lets their hair down. It's just the kids absolutely love it, and they talk about it forever. And it's memories. So these kids are going to take that and live, tell their kids about it.
How about you, Mike?
Well, Michael's a first generation Speedway. I didn't grow up in it. I was just a fan. So hopefully this is a start. And when his kids come up, they'll be second generation Speedway riders.
Very good. Very good.
So that'd be very nice to see that. Keep going that way.
Very good. Well, one last thing. A guy who really helped out this sport during the pandemic. I always tell him he did heroes work. I wanted him to join the stream, but Steve Evans, he's working with his kids right now, and he can't join, not a problem. But what do you think Steve Evans did during the pandemic? What do you think about that? I think it helped keep the sport alive here in California. What do you think, Mike?
There wouldn't have been any racing without Steve. We'd all been sitting. Everybody would have got real stale. Nobody was riding. Steve put on a number of races. It was real enjoyable to get out and break the staleness of being at home, stuck here, get out, see all my friends. I look at Speedway. I don't have a whole lot of friends. All my friends are at the track. That's why I help everybody. They're all friends of mine there. I enjoy it. So without that, I wouldn't have been able to see my friends.
Yeah. Keith, how do you feel about that? I know Slater progressed a lot during that time.
Yeah, it was an opportunity with COVID to pack a bunch of money away and save it for when we got out. But Steve kept things alive, and thank God, because without Steve, like Mike said, we would have just been stagnant, just waiting for the season to open. And he was able to do it once a month, and it was great. It was, again, time to get out and enjoy ourselves without, masks, if you so say it. Yeah. But he kept it alive. Absolutely. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. How about you, Steve?
Oh, absolutely. I was just going through my notebook, 2021, and I see we raced between Paris and Kern. What did we race there? 16 times, I think.
Yeah.
And, and then we had 8 races in Auburn, because Auburn had a pretty good season last year. But I mean, that was unheard of. Yeah. I didn't even, back when we all went into shutdown, I mean, didn't know if there was going to be anything, heck, he kept it going. I mean, we raced there more than anywhere else combined. And then, so far this year, we've already had 5 races at Kern. Hey, I love it. And his new track at Kern I love that thing. I mean, I love it as a spectator. My kid, is just blown away by it. I mean, there's so many racing lines. I mean, and it's cool that Kelly's going to be opening up again. And then Brad's had some great races. So, I mean, hallelujah. And, I think it's definitely kept things going. I mean, without that, who knows if the sport would have survived.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying it probably would have, this pandemic would have probably put it to bed. But without Steve Evans sticking his neck out and stuff, and I covered a lot of the events during that time, I know that for a fact, a lot of you guys your sons wouldn't have progressed to where they are now. And even guys like Max and Dylan and Brock and Luke, they needed that seat time in order to get picked up by the big leagues over there in Europe. So the guy did a really good job keeping everything going. And I want to give him props out there. Here you go, Steve. Anyway, I want to thank you guys. I want to say a happy Father's Day to Billy Gennaro, Chris Kerr. Every new dad out there that I can't think of right now. And happy Father's Day to you guys. Thank you for joining me here on XSRA.TV's Speedway Chat Live. Oh, one more thing. What do you think about streaming the events? Do you like that I haven't done any streaming since February. And I want to. What do you think about
that? I love it because after the races, we come home and we watch the race.
Yeah.
Because
I don't have to edit anything. You can watch the race.
Yeah. We're behind we're in the pits and we miss everything. So, it's an opportunity for the dads and the riders to see what they've missed. And, it's educational for us too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because we don't really get to have any of my kids' friends ever go to the races because, it's hard to ask someone to drive 3-4 hours. That's be our closest race. So a lot of their friends and family never even get to see them race. And, they've really enjoyed watching those. So absolutely. Please keep it up.
Yeah, I got friends in Australia that tune in. So
that's right.
They're out there.
You get the cleanest stream in the world.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah. So, Mike, what do you think? You like it too? You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I can't mention anything that hadn't already been mentioned by the other guys. Streaming works real well. You can learn a lot by watching your videos. I miss a lot of the other good races being in the pits, wrenching on our bikes and doing what we need to do there. So going back and getting to see the other kids' races and stuff like that. I really enjoy watching the 250s and 140s race, and I miss a lot of them. So it gives me a chance to get caught up on how the other riders are doing and stuff on the track.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you, guys. I'm going to try to do my best to keep it going. I don't know about the first round of the Nationals. I'll try to do something that's coming very quick. But I'm sure to be working with the industry and round 3 with David up there in Auburn. Definitely, the world needs to see what we've got here, the talent we have here, and I think it draws people to come to the track. Other than that, you can probably sit 20 people in the house and watch the event. Gas is one thing, but I enjoy doing it. I've been doing it for 15 years, and I may not know a lot. I think Steve Evans is Encyclopedia Brown. I'm sorry he's not here because he lent a lot of information. But I think what he's been doing and getting these people back into the racing or keeping the kids in the racing is wonderful. And I appreciate you guys having your sons going out there and racing. And it's been a joy to watch them progress. And I'm hoping to see them continue on. So I just want to give you guys again a big shout out. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me on Speedway Chat Live. This is episode 7. I know there's a lot of kinks to work out and stuff, but this is Speedway, folks. You learn by doing, right? You learn by doing. So thanks, guys.
You'll do fine.
Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you at the track.
All right. Thanks, kid.
Okay, thank you, Ken.
Thank you. All right. Well, there you have it. That's the end of Speedway Chat Live. That's about an hour of talking to Speedway dads, Speedway fathers, people that if you have questions about your sons or daughters getting involved in this sport, please come on down to the track, get involved, come in after the races, come and talk to these guys. They're more than willing to help you out. And I always say we never know where the new Speedway champion will come from. He's probably in a bedroom in Iowa right now watching this or watching motocross or something. But he might be in a bedroom in Los Angeles too. But we need more riders and we need more support. And I thank you for your support. So please join me on the next video. I posted Wilbur Hancock. If you guys know who he is, he's injured right now. I posted him doing interviews with all the riders. He's much better than I am. I have questions, but I get nervous. I don't ask the right ones all the time. But he did a wonderful job. I invite you to go to the YouTube page and watch Wilbur do these interviews. It's a little long, but go to the YouTube page. I need 5 more people, and then we'll have 1,200. And give likes. Go around and like what you see. There's a lot of great racing there, and I want to continue to do that more often. I'll be trying to do another Speedway Chat Live before the end of June, because we've got a lot of things going on in July and August. So shoot me a message on Facebook or leave me a message on YouTube. And I have a Twitter account. Nobody seems to go there and say anything, but any one of those accounts, shoot me some ideas of what we could do or I could do to show you guys some of the best racing in the United States, Speedway racing. So without further ado, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys at the track.